good evening to all my friends, and welcome to today's edition of our webinar on Vicharak Manch. We have some good number of speakers today, as well as we do have a keynote speaker uh, and a very known and versatile person. His name is T. Nanda Kumar. Nanda Kumar sir is an IS officer of 1972 batch, and almost 40 years of experience in various positions in government of India, from being perhaps generally from being a DM to Secretary of Government of India and Agriculture Secretary as well. Uh, he has also been in Ministry of Textiles, jute organizations. He was represented India in UNCTAD also. He has been chairman of a Spices Board of India from 1990 to 1995. Also Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. And he has been also linked with animal husbandry, dairy, fisheries. In addition, he has been Secretary, Department of Food, Public Distribution, uh, national member of National Disaster Management Authority, and chairman of Dairy Development Board, plus a senior visiting fellow at Indian Council for Research and International and Economic Relations. In addition, he writes regularly in newspapers, and fortunately, he has written a very good piece, recently on agriculture, which I can show you here. Perhaps you may not be able to read it, but I was able to go through. He has written, on a very, important topic, and that is mandatory MSP watering, a dangerous idea. In addition to that, we also have with us today Dr. P.S. Asthampi, with whom I have been interacting for last uh, 20 years or so. And uh, he is from media background, communication, as well as he has been part of a Spices Board. Uh, Especially, he has promoted the Spices of India as a publicity in charge. But apart from that, he's a good gardener and a good Kisan. He travels from different parts of India, especially in the southern zone, from chili to pepper to all variety of spices. You can kind of name many of them. Uh, the special one, he has been also later on instrumental in helping government of India to create nomenclature of spices. He has been part of managing committee, and now as a retired government servant, he is advising variety of forums of spices as well as agriculture products. Now we also have on our panel Major General Satyendra Prasad Sinha, uh, who is have spent more than 40 years in defense as or as an officer, but he is from a village background. Family is still doing farming in Bihar, and he's very active as a political as well as a researcher, commentator on various television channels. And apart from that, the most interesting part is we have with us a very young and talented agripreneur, Abhishek Kumar, who has received, a special award. I will say award from Prime Minister of India, Kisan Ratna, I will say award at a very young age. That shows the versatility he has on you know this particular platform. So with uh, in addition to that, a very young and energetic, very educated, studied in a very elite school. I will not say, but a school which has produced most number of IS officers in Bihar, called Netarhat School. So he's passed out from there, but he has also done his masters, MBA, and all. But he has gone back to village, and now has been doing lots of innovations in farming. In from small farming to fisheries to all varieties that he can talk about. You can Google about his name, Abhishek Kumar. You will be able to understand what I am saying. In addition to that, we have variety of experts who are watching us in our room today, and lots of people on Facebook and social media are watching us. So today with this, I would like to welcome you all again in our webinar of Vicharak Manch. Before I initiate it, the main point of agenda, that is Kisan bill, and there are a variety of points that will be discussed. The most important aspect is that Vicharak Manch is a platform which has been created recently, some 6 months back. It is an open source platform, in the sense that it allows anybody to come and join and share thoughts, especially critical thoughts. The idea is to create at least some discussion and discourse on variety of challenges that India faces, especially for national development and national integration, plus help young people develop some critical thinking so that they can solve one problem from various angles. uh, More, not to more only focus on cramming and doing rattu tota activity, but also to analyze problems from various dimensions and develop critical thinking, and add little bit to our development of economy, society, and create awareness about our own strength, whatever we had in the past, or talk about mistakes that was committed in the past but correct them. It's not only talking. So the idea is not to only keep on criticizing government, or the past government, or the present government, or our own self. Rather, take some actions. A little small action and a step can contribute. Especially when we are talking about using our own ethos and political values, social values, economic values, self-sufficiency, more pride in our nation, more pride in our culture, more pride in our value system, family system, etc. That's the idea behind, and that is what has brought us today to this discussion on Kisan bill, especially because it is currently very hot in India. Number one, especially in this winter, Delhi is surrounded by lots of protesters from northern region as well as some other parts of India, and they have kind of threatened to create lots of problem. And these protesters are mainly Kisan or intermediaries or some supporters, and people who want to have some positivity. But the reality is, most of common people of India do not understand what is this maximum support price system. Number one, we have certain points that I would like to request our expert and keynote speaker, uh, Nanda Kumar sir, to focus on, and that will be to to explain us what is MSP. Number one, how it is calculated, uh, what was the existing system earlier and what is now, what is new thing, how it is impacting, the new changes are impacting the system, and who are the people who are being affected, and why this hue and cry is being made when changes have occurred. And also how the procurement by the government is done, from these intermediaries, or from, I will say, Kisan or farmers. Are there only paddies and rices that comes into picture, or there are variety of other products also? I was going through Nanda Kumar sir's article in which he has says that the production is rising, as well as the buying capacity has been also been increased by the government to maintain balance in system. Similarly, government is buying and spending too heavily on providing food at a subsidized rate to almost two-thirds of India. So all this is something which is very very challenging and complicated. Number one, there is internal problem at Kisan level. There is a problem at the buying level. There is problem at the buying of this by the agents, buying by the distributors, the big fishes, I will say, or the government. Plus there is also challenge at fixing prices by the government, and allowing kind of maintaining food security of India. Plus we also have to maintain price in such a way that we do not infringe the WTO agreements. So there is a local level problem, there is a district level problem, there is a state level problem, there is national level problem, and there is international level problem involved. So it is not that simple to understand this problem that we are trying to discuss today. So I would like to welcome our keynote speaker, uh, Sri Nanda Kumar sir, T Nanda Kumar sir, to please take it forward and help us understand it. Because I, as a common man, I also have my roots in village, and we have ended up not doing farming. Rather, we focus more on tea plantation. So there, my family, my friends, and as well as my brother, who takes care of land at my village, he has recently planted lots of trees. So these trees do also come into farming, or there will be some green problems coming in after we have planted these trees. Perhaps the government will come out with certain norms that you cannot cut trees, and then all investment will be gone. The kind of problems that we are facing, suddenly the changes come, and it affects the common people a lot. So with this, I would like to invite Nanda sir to please take it over. Thank you, sir.